What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today I've got another book review for you. And I'm going to be talking about True Crime by Samantha Kolesnik. And this is put out by Grindhouse Press. This was part of the hashtag Ladies First 20. For me, this was my selection. And what that is to read your first book to read in 2020 was to be by a female author. So like I said, this is what I chose for that. And I was also lucky enough to get an ARC copy of this book that Samantha sent out to me. She had on her Twitter that she was looking for people interested in reading and reviewing, and I reached out to her, and she was kind enough to send a copy my way, and she even signed it for me, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the book, and then I'll give my thoughts and feelings on the book and everything. Susie and her brother Lim live with their abusive mother in a town where the stars don't shine at night. Once the abuse becomes too much to handle, the two siblings embark on a sordid cross-country murder spree, beginning with their mom. As the murder tally rises, Susie's mental state spirals into irredeemable madness. So first and foremost, just the cover of the book I really like. Sort of looks like a newspaper. It's got, your title of the paper up here, your headline, and the pictures. On the back, it even looks like it has sort of advertisement. So the presentation of the book, I really like the presentation. On the front, it has a little blurb by author Brian Keene, who likens this to Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door. I've never read The Girl Next Door, but I have heard things about it. So I do sort of agree with that this does liken to The Girl Next Door from what I've heard about it. This is a hard-hitting novel. It's a heavy novel. Appreciated that Samantha, it didn't feel like she was pulling any punches or holding anything back. It was raw and it was real, and she was laying it all out there for what our characters were going through. Like it says on the back, Susie is sort of our main character. We're following her story. I believe she's like 11 or 12 at the beginning of the book. I don't think she's quite a teenager. But she's right around in that age. And as it says on the back, she's been dealing basically her whole life with abuse from her mom. Her dad's not around anymore, but he was not good to her either when he was around. It seems like her mom's boyfriends are abusive to her. And it's not just physical and mental abuse, it's also sexual abuse as well. So this book is not for the faint of heart. It's pretty graphic in some scenes regarding that. But like I said, basically everyone Susie has ever known or, been sort of someone who should be a loving figure in her life, and, mother, father, things like that, have always been horrible to her. Her mother in the book is a vile person. She's one of the most despicable characters I've read in a long time. And really her only saving grace is her brother Lim. He's sort of her guardian angel, she feels like. But he has suffered abuses as well. Maybe not all the same as Susie, but he is not free and clear either. And like I said, Samantha, she doesn't pull any punches. It's very heavy stuff. But, as the back says, Susie, she eventually gets fed up with the abuse and sort of snaps. And her and her brother end up killing the mom. And then that's sort of when their cross-country adventure starts to begin. And I really enjoyed the sort of the cross-country part, the allure of the open highway, the open road. I live in Kentucky, and we have a lot of back roads. You can drive for quite a few miles, and there's nothing around, no houses, no cars, no people. And so that part of the book was alluring to me. I really enjoyed that. There's scenes where Susie's sort of hanging her head out the window like a dog and letting the wind blow through her hair. She's trying to catch fireflies out the window with her hand. So there's something alluring about that, but also sort of haunting as well. Being out in the middle of nowhere, nothing around. It's sort of the alluring but haunting aspect at the same time. But I really enjoyed those scenes in the book. And it goes on, like it says, they go on this sort of murder spree, encountering different people along the way in different situations. And then about halfway through the book, it took sort of an unexpected turn, something I didn't think the book was going in that direction. But it allows us time to really explore Susie more, get to know her mentally, what she's thinking, what she's going through, and how she feels about life and how she feels about herself. She comments multiple times throughout the book that she's sort of disgusted with her body because of what's been done to her. She feels like a dog that is being led around on a leash by other masters to, do what they will, to have her do what she will at their whim. She comments that she would like to cut off parts of her body and, her women parts, her breasts and things. She would like to cut them off and just let them rot by the wayside. At one point, she's talking about she wishes she could plug up all the holes in her body. And if she could survive that way, she would do that. And then also she feels like sometimes she would just be better off dead. So you can really tell, the trauma that she suffered really comes through in the way she's thinking and things like that. And then later in the book, it raises a lot of questions, at least it did for me as the reader. At what point does someone stop being a victim and start being a monster? Can we feel sorry for people like Susie, even though, she suffered these traumatic things, but she's also become a murderer? So do we still feel sorry for her? Can we still feel sorry for her even though she's done horrible things? When someone commits these heinous acts, can they still be redeemed at the end of the day? Even though that stuff is in their past. So it raises a lot of questions like that. And to me, that's a sign of a good book when it's raising these sort of deep questions that make you think once you've put the book down. But I don't really want to give too much more away about the plot or anything. But I really enjoyed the writing by Samantha. This is her debut novel as well. This is another debut novel that I've read recently that was just killer, knocked it out of the park. Her prose was hauntingly beautiful. She weaves a sordid tale of violence and murder and psychosis. Like I said, it raises a lot of questions, at least it did in my opinion, about how we should feel towards people like Susie. Like I said, at what point do they stop being a victim and sort of are considered a monster or a murderer? Should we feel sorry for people like this? It raised a lot of good questions. And overall, I really, really enjoyed the book. This was a solid 4.5 star read for me, rounded up on Goodreads and Amazon to 5 stars. But this is True Crime by Samantha Kolesnik from Grindhouse Press. It is available on January 15th of this month, so here in like another week or so. But that's all I have to say about it. Like I said, this was a solid 4.5 star read for me. If you've read it, I'd like to hear your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. If you liked it, didn't like it, if it raised any questions for you, and what your answers are to the questions that it raised for me. But again, that's all I have for y'all today. So thanks for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.